I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Welcome back. I am Tommy, and this is the Aquatic News Network. And in today's news, invasive green crabs offer lessons on ecosystem management amid environmental change. Are these green crabs taking over our planet? Are they maliciously taking over territory under the vast depths of our oceans? Or is this something that may need to be monitored and metered by us humans? And for this story, we go directly to phys.org to see what they have uncovered. A new study published in the Journal of Applied Ecology may offer decision makers guidance and support in navigating the increasingly difficult, if not impossible, task of conserving historical ecological baseline conditions. Stated by PhD and candidate in the Department of Environmental Science, Abby Keller, the decision of when to reset and when to accept involves a lot of uncertainty. Luckily, we can use mathematical concepts from decision theory to support rational decision making under uncertainty. The report then goes on to explain exactly how difficult it is to control a population of green crabs. Their larvae develop into open waters and for several months are capable of traveling hundreds of kilometers across the ocean. Now, how are they getting across the ocean? Is it just the currents? According to a recent news article, we have found out that boats in port, as they are filling and draining the boats, might be pulling in some of the larvae from these green crabs and draining them into the next port that they go to. Is this a problem that humans may have had something to do with to cause this invasion? One report goes on to claim that possibly removing these green crabs to another location or their natural habitat might be a step in the right direction. But Dr. Keller, among with the people at phys.org, stress how difficult it is to actually control these populations, especially considering that the mother and brood can house up to a genesis of 185,000 larvae at a time. And according to the report, once these green crabs are introduced to other water systems, they aggressively will prey on juvenile shellfish and fish species that might be endemic to the region, also destroying eelgrass beds that provide critical habitats for salmon and threaten commercial fishery operations. There has been no documented successful example of green crab eradication, and Keller notes that the species has begun spreading through the Northeast Pacific Ocean as climate change drives an increase in temperatures. And with the ecological impact in mind, Associate Professor Carl Bettiger states that we're entering a new era of ecosystem management where we have to explore decision frameworks that move beyond conserving a historical baseline. We hope our study can enable the type of informed strategic decisions needed to navigate a changing world. So, what will be the future of the green crab population? What will to come of it? Can humans use an algorithm to correctly predict how to manage the invasion of the green crabs? And in a study, undergrad student Rose Foucher stated, when fish have different features to interact with, like corals and plants in shallow water or sand and rocks on the seafloor, that's when we would expect fish to have a lot of variation in shape. Instead, we're seeing it in deep sea fish who have nothing but water to interact with. Foucher later went on to state the idea that a resource poor, homogeneous environment, like being surrounded on all sides by water, would produce diverse body and skull plans is really counterintuitive in this field. Evans stating later, perfect example of how life can innovate under extreme constraints. This work not only enhances our understanding of deep sea biodiversity, but also illustrates the resilience and creativity of the adaptation of the fish. So, with this fish spending lifetimes in a homogeneous environment, it has grown to adapt to having nothing around it in a search for food that may or may not come by. So, one would go on to think that this fish is now being shown in the shallower waters, rising up to the shallower depths of the ocean, maybe just to find more food. Or has the anglerfish adapted itself again right before our very eyes to take on new heights in the ocean depths? And in fishy news today, Vince from Twisted Koi finally gets his well needed break in the weather to build new koi ponds in his greenhouse to raise the standard, raise the bar for koi keeping in itself, making a name for himself throughout the world. And Fathom Aquatics breaks a barrier with his documentary style interview with master fish breeder Michael Broom, handing out all of the tips for success that you may need breeding your fish. Also, what is a low maintenance aquarium? Would you like to find out? Check over at Father Fish and Patty's Aquatics for some of the very detailed answers that you might be looking for. And in tech news today, is there a new type of filter that could revolutionize the fish keeping industry altogether? Yes, that's right. I'm talking about hang on the back canister filters. They are finally here. Or have they been here for a long time and it's just been behind the veil that we cannot see? I urge you all to go check out with one of our local mad scientists, Salient Aquatics, Jesse, on his channel on YouTube, where you can find out exactly what he thinks of hang on the back canister filters and their impact they might have in the hobby. And that's this week's news here on the Aquatic News Network, where we bring the stories of the water to life. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next time. And that's this week.